Student, this is your chapter number 8, Q Basic Introduction. This is the first chapter of your final term course. Okay. Now, let's begin with what is Q Basic. Okay. Now, see children, Q Basic is a language. Okay. Now, which language it is? It is a computer programming language that is used by the programmers. Basically, children, we say that computer gives accurate result, computer can perform any task and so on. Okay, we have learned so far the features of computer. But how they are able to work? Because after all, computer is a machine. Does it have its own intelligence? No, it is not. Okay, so the computer works totally, entirely on human instruction. So whatever work human or user wants to do, whatever specific task user wants to perform, then for that user has to give instruction. Like you are using various application software, system software, are they natural products? No, they are not. They are man-made. And who are developing those software? The programmers, the software engineers. Okay, so that is what we call software engineer. Okay, they make program for various tasks and then they develop an application, a website and so on. Okay, so that user can perform. Like if suppose you want to write a letter or type a document, then for that we use Microsoft Word. If we want to do some calculations, suppose you want to prepare your mark sheet or we want to prepare salary sheet, wages sheet, so all those are done in spreadsheet software. So these software are developed by programmers. Okay, so when specific task has to be performed, an instruction or a set of instruction has to be given in the computer. Okay, so these instructions are not written in human language, they are written in programming language. So we need to learn, like you all are learning Hindi and English to communicate or express yourself. Okay, so similarly we need to learn programming language to perform some specific tasks on computer. Okay, so what are languages? The languages, that is the computer languages by the programmers, are used to write computer programs. Okay, so this is what programming language is, like BASIC, Fortran, Pascal, COBOL, then C, C++, Java, now Python. They are some commonly used programming language. Okay, and this chapter is all about Q Basic, that is basic. Now basic has its expansion form also, and what is this full form? Beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. Okay, it is a high level programming language and designed by John Kemeny, okay, and Thomas Kurtz in 1963. This language was specially developed for training the beginner. It is very simple and easy to understand. See, one more thing is there, one important thing is there, that computer understand only machine language. Earlier also it was understanding only machine language, and today also it understand only machine language. But machine language is the language in which entire thing or entire instructions is in the form of codes of 0 and 1 only. Okay, and if anything, these coded things were not easy for user to understand or learn, so for that purpose only, for the convenience of user, high level language were developed. High level language basically contains some English terms which was easy for user to understand and write, and also later on it was easy for debug also. Now debug is finding errors and removing the errors from the program is the process, the whole process is known as debugging. Okay, so debug was simple. However, the debugging and writing code in machine language was difficult for user. Okay, so for that reason high level languages were developed, and basic is for beginners. That is why you can see its full form, beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. This is the full form of basic, BASIC. B stands for beginners, then A stands for all, then all purpose, then S stands for symbolic, and IC is instruction code. Okay, now in this chapter you will be learning Q Basic programming. Fine. Now There are some versions of basic also like GW basic, power basic and Q basic, and you will be learning about Q basic. Now Q basic is a complete programming language developed by Microsoft to type, edit, debug and execute the basic program. Type means you can write the code, edit means you can make some changes, debug means you are finding the mistake and correcting it, and execute means run the basic program to see the output or the desired output. Okay. Now let's begin with characteristics of Q basic. Now what are its characteristics? It is user friendly language, that means it is easy to understand. It is one of the most flexible languages as modification can easily be done in already existing program. Then language is easy as the variables can be named easily and simple English phrases with mathematical expressions are used. Then it is open source software which can be freely downloaded, and it is automatically checked. It also automatically check syntax. Syntax means the rule of writing commands in any programming language. Like you all have learned or still learning English and Hindi, you have grammar of English as well as Hindi. When you are able to understand the grammar of any language, you are able to speak or write that language, isn't it? If you want to learn some new language like French, Spanish, so you need to first of all learn its grammar. If you are clear about the grammar of any language, you are able to speak. Why you are not able to speak Japanese? Because you don't know the rule of it. Okay, so similarly in programming language also you need to learn the rules of writing the command and various statements. You have to follow those rules. Okay, otherwise there will this technically the syntax is known as the rules of writing the programming language. Okay, in computer term we call the rules as syntax of the programming language. And if you are committing any mistake in syntax, like if suppose the print command is there, now print command for writing that you have to write in print, and if you are missing T or N, spelling mistake is there, or you are wrongly using it for some other purpose, then in that case you have syntax error. That error is known as syntax error. Error means mistake. Okay. So these have, that is why the syntax of each and every command statement should be thoroughly practiced. Okay. So that you cannot make at least the mistake of syntax error. Okay. Now next feature is that it allows us to break every program into module. Now basically what is the good programmer, what they do, they first of all design, for suppose if they are having complex problem and they need a program for it. So first they are going to break those complex program into many segments. Okay, that segment is known as module, and then they find the solution for each and every segment separately. And then there with some programming technique they will combine those segments together and then giving the solution for the complex problem as a whole. So this is what module is. Module is the segment. You can see here module is a software component, okay, and syntax is referred to the rule that specify the correct combined sequence of symbols or statement. Okay. Now to start QBasic, how you are going to start is click on this. Once you have installed, you have to click on the start button, then type QBasic in search box, here this box. Okay. After this, now from here click on QBasic. See here you will get QBasic. You have to click on it. Now press escape to hide the welcome screen. Okay, and reveal the QBasic window. Now you can see here this is your black screen, this is your QBasic window. Okay, and to start another method is that to start you have to click on to start QBasic, double click on the QBasic icon and run the basic.exe file. Okay, so this completes this video, and next remaining part will be in the second part of this video. Thank you children.